Hey scientists, I'm going to read this article with you. It's called Hydropower. The first time you read it, I want you to write down words that you do not know. So as I go through reading this with you, remember I want you to pick out 5 words in here that you either don't know or you think someone else might not know. And at the end of this part of your assignment is going to be to define those words, to look them up and see what they mean. All right, so I'm going to follow along with the cursor so you know where I am in the reading. Again, look for those words you don't know. So this article is about hydropower. Here's a picture of hydropower. It says, at a hydroelectric power plant, river water flows over a dam. This is a dam right here. And the water turns turbines that generate electricity. So hydropower is the use of falling river water to generate electricity. The electricity made from hydropower is often called hydroelectricity. However, aside from the energy used to make it, the hydroelectricity is exactly the same as other electricity. Hydropower is made at a dam. A dam is like a wall across a river. Much of the river water backs up behind the dam, forming an artificial lake called a reservoir. But some of the water is allowed to flow through the dam. It is channeled over turbines, which are like spinning wheels. The energy of the spinning turbines is used to generate electricity. Wires carry the electricity from the dam to the places that need it. Advantages of hydropower. Hydropower has many advantages. It uses a renewable energy source, which is the rushing water of a river. After the dam and power plant are built, hydropower is inexpensive to generate. That's because the river is a free natural resource. Another advantage is lack of pollution. Unlike the burning of fossil fuels, hydropower does not release soot or gases. There are no waste products of any kind. Hydropower can also be generated close to the places that need it. Rivers flow in all places over the world, including near the busiest cities. A river also brings and takes away everything that hydropower needs to generate electricity. Unlike a power plant that burns coal or runs on uranium, no materials needed to be transported to or from a hydro plant to keep it running. A dam can also bring other benefits besides hydropower. The reservoir it forms can be used to hold water for communities. The reservoir can also be used for swimming and boating. Disadvantages of hydropower. However, hydropower has disadvantages too. A dam changes the way the river flows. As a result, it can change the way the fish, birds, and other wildlife live in the river. Many fish swim downstream to feed, then back upstream to spawn or lay eggs. Channels in the dam are built to allow fish to pass through, but the fish's lives are still changed. A dam also stops the flow of silts down the river. In rivers without dam, the silt gathers on beaches along the river. When the river floods, the silt washes into nearby land. The silt makes the land very fertile or able to grow crops. Building a dam on a river stops these events from occurring. Dams can also make rivers more difficult for people to use. Boats and barges would be destroyed if they fell over a dam. So, along with the dam, engineers often build structures called locks. A lock is like a water elevator for carrying boats and barges. Locks work well, but they make traveling on the river more difficult and expensive. Another disadvantage of dams is they can break apart. This event is called a dam failure. When a dam fails, a huge amount of water rushes past it. The river below floods over its banks. The rush of the water causes much damage to property. It can also take people's lives. In the 1970s, the failure of 5 dams across the United States killed over 300 people. After the last of these failures, the U.S. government began the National Dam Safety Program. Dams are now inspected for safety. What do you think? Should we continue to build more dams and generate more hydroelectric power in the United States? The question is not easy to answer. Today, burning coal makes most electricity. Coal has many disadvantages as an energy source, and its supplies will someday run out. New hydropower plants can help us stop using coal. They might also provide electricity at lower costs and for longer periods of time than new coal-fired plants. However, engineers point out that most of the best sites for dams have already been taken. They can also show us how water levels are decreasing in many rivers. The Colorado River of the southern United States is one example. Over the past 50 years, more and more of its water has been used for farms, ranches, and cities. Today, very little water flows from the mouth of the river into the ocean. Biologists may argue that dams harm river wildlife. An example is the Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River in China. The river is home to one of the largest, most diverse communities of living things on Earth. However, within a year after the dam was completed in 2012, scientists have identified failing populations of fish, birds, and other wildlife. A type of dolphin that lived in the river is now thought to be extinct. So in your digital science notebook, what I would like you to do, or not in your digital science notebook, just on your own separate piece of paper, I want you to answer the following questions. I want you to answer, what are the advantages of using hydropower? Okay, so go ahead and answer that question. What are the disadvantages of using hydropower? And again, this is going to help you because for your summative, you're going to be looking for textual evidence to support why we should build dams in California, and a piece of textual evidence that says why we shouldn't build dams in California. And then I want you to answer this question. What kind of scientists help us evaluate hydropower? Discuss the different ideas and knowledge they can provide. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.